Hello, everyone, again, and a warm welcome from my side. My name is Swati, and in this session, I will take you through the topic of navigating global diverse teams. I've noticed that people usually talk a lot about the terms global, diverse, and teams, but here I actually emphasized the word navigating, as I think it's about how we can navigate these complex setups and emerge as winners, both individually and collectively. There's also another reason, which you'll get to see by the end of my presentation. So let's get going. First things first, who am I? I come from India, where I did most of my education, including my bachelor's. I started my tech career there and worked in two different companies as a software engineer. After a while, I moved to Germany, did my master's, and I've been working here ever since. Currently, I'm employed at Siemens as a research engineer cum technical project manager. In terms of technologies, my focus is around artificial intelligence, semantics, linked data, and knowledge graphs. Other than work, I'm quite passionate about diversity, inclusion, and DIY projects. That's the reason I actively engage with these three initiatives as a mentor, organizer, and volunteer. Now, the African Tech Vision, Ready School, Learn IT Girl, all these are activities aimed at enabling and empowering either women, immigrants, or other groups towards STEM fields and entrepreneurship. If any of this sounds interesting to you, then do get in touch after the talk. I would be glad to tell you more about these and how you can also get involved. Okay, so what I'll be sharing today is a combination of learnings from my full-time job as well as these three part-time activities. And in both cases, I engage on a day-to-day basis with diverse people located all over the globe. Now that I've told you a little bit about me, let me take you through a journey. The one from me to we, meaning where I went from being a solo software developer to a team contributor, a team driver, and a team manager. Firstly, I want to ask what comes to your mind when I say team. While I'm actually curious to hear your answers, due to time constraints, we are unable to have an interactive session right now. Do share your thoughts in the chat and I'll go through them at the end. Now, what we see in this image is a sports team. So you have similar people dressed uniformly, physically together in one place. They look perfectly in sync. You might also say they are organized. They even seem to have the same goals, right? Now let's make a slight shift to tech teams. These can be quite different. They can be globally distributed. The company I work for, Siemens, this is located in different countries. So in my projects, apart from Germany, I work with colleagues located in India, Sweden, Romania, the USA on a daily basis. Then we have multicultural and multilingual aspects to teams. From my personal experience, during my initial days of coming to Germany, I found some behavioral differences between Indians and Germans. For example, concerning feedback culture or direct versus indirect communication, hierarchy, and how one sees their higher ups and management. Also, with language, I've observed that even if everyone is speaking the exact same language, in my case, English, the interpretation could be quite different. Then comes diversity. We have gender, age, across generations. There's so much of it. Lastly, not everyone necessarily has the same set of goals. For example, for someone, this might be their very first project, so they are keen on proving themselves. For some others, the project might decide our next promotion. For some, a specific project may only be a side task rather than their main activity, and so on. At this point, even if you haven't had the opportunity to work in such teams, I'm quite sure this will change. With remote working picking up so much pace in the current times, it won't be long until each of us will certainly experience this. So, the more equipped we get with this topic, the better prepared we'll be. Having said that, distributed teams have been around for a few decades now. It's not new. That means we have formal guidelines, frameworks, experts, and extensive studies telling us precisely what to do and how to do these things. One such methodology is the agile approach to software development. Now, I'm quite confident that you might be familiar with this. You might have even come across the term Scrum or Kanban, or you might have these in your work regularly. Therefore, let's look at what agile methodology tells us about teams. On this slide, I've directly copied the 12 principles from the Agile Manifesto. The intention, however, is not to go through them in detail, but rather focus on these numbers 4, 5, 6, and 12. I've even highlighted some keywords where we see the mention of teams or team spirit. So we have working together daily, or having motivated individuals to get the expected results, or the importance of face-to-face communication, and also reflecting and adapting regularly. Further, one of the core values of Agile is to prioritize individuals and interactions over processes and tools. Therefore, we know that experts stress on how important team alignment and chemistry are, and how every company, every project should abide by these guidelines. Now, the question is, isn't everybody just following that? Is there even a problem we need to discuss? And it turns out that things are not that simple. I've quoted two surveys, only two here. One that says 97% of employees believe a lack of team alignment impacts project outcomes. And the second study, where companies reported an enormous amount of loss, $37 billion, due to miscommunication and misunderstandings. What this tells us is that there is certainly some gap. Let's try and understand what it might be we could be missing. If you do a quick online search, you will get the most typical problems in distributed, diverse teams and projects. There you'll find time zone differences, cultural differences, language barriers, and they are all indeed true. In addition, I've listed a few reasons based on what I've encountered myself. On the one hand, we have project leads not reacting enough or not reacting soon enough. Then there's the problem of not investing much into such kinds of trainings, or getting too caught up in deadlines, milestones, and crossing things off the backlog. One more important point is that I see people using the bracket term communication for a lot of different things, be it trust, empathy, and respect among team members, or not sharing knowledge within the team, or so much more. Then there's also the problem of not striking the right amount of balance between too little and too much. If I had to share a personal experience here, let me tell you about a project 2 years ago. Now, this project was planned for 18 months. We had secured the necessary budget, and the project also started on time. However, it so happened that due to most of the issues you see here and a few others, we suffered a delay of more than 3 months. And at several points through the project, we also had dissatisfaction among the team members. Of course, I've learned a lot from that experience. If I were to do it again today, there are specific things I would do differently, and I would encourage others to do differently. That being said, there are definitely ways to ensure successful teams. It's not that hard. Working as part of complex, large-scale distributed projects and even driving and leading them is certainly doable. Like if we pay attention and practice some fundamental behaviors, this will all come. This is where I find this guide useful. It's no magic formula that I invented. It's all just based on my own experience over the years. So you're welcome to use it as a reference and adapt it as per your needs, as per your own preferences, projects, and scenarios. And I call this guide Navigate. Let's start with N. Never, never assume. So, whenever you're in doubt about anything, please ask and clarify. You might think now that assumptions might speed things up, but in the long run, the wrong kinds of assumptions can cost you and the project a lot. Always communicate. Communication is key. It's written everywhere. Everybody will tell you about it. And not only pure work related talk, get involved in small talk also. And sometimes I also encounter people who think that the more knowledge they accumulate, the more valuable they become for the team. Let me tell you that this is not true. Being a knowledge hoarder and not spreading information within the team will end up making you the bottleneck. And in a few cases, unfortunately, this might even lead to breakdowns. So keep dissipating knowledge. Next, value flexibility. Don't be rigid. I don't have to tell you that this is what agility is mainly about, right? And we are especially now in very dynamic times where even the next moment, the next day can be completely unexpected. So adapt and don't be obsessed with even perfection. Initiative. Often I see team members and even managers or team leads say that they sense that issues are there, but they're waiting for someone else to take action. Quite sure the opposite parties are also thinking the same way. So rather than be idle, take initiative and do something while you still can. Then grow together. It's important to remind yourself that team projects are not a competition. A team's success is almost always directly proportional to your own progress. So trust your team members and take them with you while moving forward. Also, celebrate. We sometimes forget this even in our personal lives. We don't value and celebrate the small things. So, whenever good things happen, and I'm quite sure this happens in all projects, take a moment to celebrate and also acknowledge those people who made it happen. Then we have take interest. Take interest in what other team members are doing. This is so crucial, especially in cross functional teams. For example, if you have a UX designer or if you are a UX designer, don't merely be involved in your own bubble of work. Like talk to stakeholders and understand the requirements better. Engage with developers to capture what implementation challenges they face with your designs. Now, not only does this contribute towards building team spirit and making them feel that you also value their contribution, their work, but it gives you a better and a wholesome understanding of the project and take your own work to the next level. So don't ignore. Now, in the end, take a pause and reflect. Really embrace feedback and act on it. Don't be in a rush to start the next project or the next sprint. I've seen so many times that sprint retrospectives get cancelled or rescheduled, but I never have heard or experienced that sprint planning meetings or sprint reviews get cancelled or rescheduled. So please allocate time for retrospectives, for taking feedback. And there you have it, my go-to guide for navigating towards success in global diverse teams. With that, I come to the end of my presentation, and I thank you really for listening and being patient.